Okay, let's take a look. Start with this interview request. I'll just read it just to see how it sounds. Dear Mr. Jeffrey, hello, my name is Jenna Underwood, and I'm a traditional animation major at Academy of Art University. I'm currently working on a class project researching the animation and visual effects industry. I'm contacting you today in regards to your experience in this industry and to see if you'd be willing to share some of your insights and expertise of animation production. I've seen and studied your work in directing the animation of the television series Bluey, as the second season has recently premiered in the United States. I'm just wondering if, well, anyway, I just go going after a director versus just someone animating, but you could use the same letter for somebody who's just an animator versus somebody directing, because the director might be less accessible. In researching other Ludo Studio projects, I do admire the techniques that go into the traditional animated productions. If I may, I would like to ask you some questions that would further my research of the competitive animation industry. These inquiries would specifically be about your work and production experiences, such as your initial interest in this line of work and how you broke in the industry, and about the production pipeline and what type of skills are necessary to be successful as an animator or animation director. Yeah, that all sounds good. Okay. Just might want to try different levels of people. Um, business card. I think that looks good. The one thing I would say is I would remove the underline from the email address and probably put a space between the area code and the phone number. But other than that, that looks really good. Okay. I don't know that I would put GPA. I mean, some people might care, but I think it'd be more interesting to use that kind of space to say, like, you know, led on a group animation project or so, something specific about your experience, that kind of thing. It's usually a graphic designer instead of graphics designer, but digitally constructed, that's kind of an odd turn of phrase. I might just say designed. Unfamiliar characters. Hmm. I guess I would say that you can have less detail for this stockroom position because, you know, it's good that you showed shop where you have responsibility, but I don't think we need that granular of detail. Um, like maybe just the first two lines would be fine. And again, this can be, cleaning and maintenance. It's just I don't know that you need this level of detail. And then I'd rather hear more about, for example, if you wanted to go into more detail, it'd be more interesting to see what you did as, in the graphic design thing, because that's more relevant, and the artist thing, rather than having, because it's sort of weighted wrong. These have less detail, but they matter more, and these have more detail, but they matter less. You must have other software skills than this, like Photoshop and stuff like that, I would think. Okay. Um, that's holding kind of long. These drawings seem to hold at the end kind of long. Um, is it really just 1 minute? Huh. Felt longer somehow. Yeah, I think it's mostly well put together. I might. This goes for how long? 5. I mean, it's kind of at the edge of being too long. The title thing. You might go a little shorter. But yeah, I think obviously you just need more good animation on there. But I think for what you have, that's assembled well. And the website, I'll just go here. I like the rail on the front page, and it seems like you made some improvements to the layout. I don't know how much you could adjust in the template, but I feel like there's a lot of kind of a big gap here and an even bigger gap here. So if there's some way of reducing those gaps, or if you can just take this out, just remove that, and then therefore move this up, I think that would be better, because you don't need this text there anywhere. I think I mentioned this before. I tend to, it says about me, and you're using the first person even here, and then you say Jenna Underwood, and to have that in the third person. I would tend to do it in the first person because it just seems more authentic. You're talking about yourself. Um, yeah, and the website's looking pretty good, right?